Memorial Day, a time off from work and school that, for many Americans, kicks off the start of summer, a time for barbecues and sun. This summer, we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and it's sure to be a summer of celebration. Still, Memorial Day is a time to remember those who paid the ultimate price so that we can be free to celebrate. Remembering the Fallen, a story of sacrifice. Welcome to Into the Desert, exploring the wilderness of ideas. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. We need your support. The algorithms are pushing divisive content while hiding serious discussion. Please become a fellow adventurer on Patreon and support this channel's mission of encouraging discussion, not division. The link is in the description. Thomas Hushbeck's father had died a couple of years earlier in an accident, leaving a wife and 4 children. It was the middle of the Depression and times were tough. Tom, being the oldest, worked while finishing high school to help make ends meet. After he graduated, he joined the military and, after training, was sent to Nicholas Army Air Force Base in the Philippines. There, he did what most military people do: perform their normal jobs while periodically being interrupted by various drills. Tom could see the approaching storm that would become World War II and wrote about it in his letters home. He said that they had received a shipment of fighters, but they were in crates and needed to be assembled. They were still assembling them when the war started on December 7th, 1941. The Japanese invaded the Philippines 10 hours later. Tom and the rest of the troops, along with their Filipino allies, fought valiantly. Still, after 2 weeks of fighting, with their base destroyed, they retreated to Bataan on December 23rd. President Roosevelt promised reinforcements, so they struggled to hold out till they arrived. Then, on March 12th, on the orders of President Roosevelt, General MacArthur left for Australia. Tom and the rest of those left behind continued to fight on till they could be reinforced. But in the end, there was no way to win. The promised reinforcements were never sent. Food and ammunition ran out, and the Japanese force was too strong. Yet still they fought to hold out. Then their positions were overrun, and on April 10th, 1942, exhausted, starving, wounded, and sick, most had malaria and/or dysentery, they surrendered. But as horrible as their ordeal had been, the worst was yet to come. The Japanese commander had ordered provisions to be set aside for the expected 25,000 prisoners. But he was unaware that the real number of captured Americans and Filipinos was more than 75,000. Nor was he aware of just how bad their condition was. They had held out as long as possible. So, when they did surrender, they were in very bad shape. In short, the provisions he ordered set aside were nowhere near sufficient, and the Japanese army command structure did not allow questioning orders, even to correct mistakes in information. To make matters worse, the Japanese viewed surrender, whatever the circumstances, as dishonor. Thus, it did not matter how valiantly they fought, how long they held out, or how low they had been on food and ammunition. They had surrendered and did not deserve to be treated honorably. Since there were not enough trucks to transport all of them, what came to be called the Bataan Death March began. Tom was not one of the lucky few whose guards, realizing how inhumane the situation was, let their captives go. Even though he was sick, he was forced to march the 30 miles in the blazing hot sun to the rail center. Most had no food or water for the march. There was no stopping, and many were beaten. Many just died on the road. Others were shot if they did not keep up. If Tom were fortunate, he would have still had shoes. Many didn't, and their feet burned as they walked on hot asphalt, which baked under the hot sun. At the railhead in San Fernando, Tom and the other prisoners were pushed into rail cars. Because of the large number of prisoners, they were packed in as tight as possible, and in the hot sun, the metal walls of the cars burned unprotected skin. Many lost consciousness from the sweltering heat inside the boxcars, with little or no ventilation. Others suffocated in the cramped space, yet they were packed in so tightly that the unconscious and the dead remained standing until the cars were unloaded at Kappas. Tom survived the trip to Kappas. From there, Tom was once again forced to march the last 8 miles to Camp O'Donnell. Suffering from sickness, starvation, and exhaustion, Tom lasted only 5 days in Camp O'Donnell, dying on May 18, 1942. He was 22 years old. Later, Private Thomas A. Hushbeck would be posthumously awarded a Purple Heart. When people ask me what Memorial Day means to me, I think of my Uncle Tom, even though he died before I was born. For me, it is his holiday, but not his alone. There were the 8 who died on Lexington Green in that first engagement of the Revolutionary War, and all the others who came after them to secure our independence, along with those who gave their lives in the War of 1812, the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, the War on Terrorism in Iraq and Afghanistan, and now the war in Iran, and that is just to name the major conflicts. Whenever there was a need, Americans like my Uncle Tom have stepped forward, knowing what may happen. Like my Uncle Tom, many have paid the ultimate price so that we can live in freedom. Many may consider freedom is not free a cliché, just another bumper sticker slogan. But the cost for our freedom was paid by my Uncle Tom and all the others who have in the past or will in the future give their lives in defense of this country. It is for them that we fly the flag on this day. It is because of them that we can enjoy the time off and relax on this day. They have given all that they had and suffered in ways we can never imagine, so that we might live in freedom. So, while I enjoy the day, I will remember them, for they deserve to be honored and remembered. What does Memorial Day mean to you? Do you have a fallen loved one? Share their story in the comments. We would love to read it. If you've made it this far in the video, consider watching one of our other videos and supporting our channel on Patreon. Thank you for watching Into the Desert, exploring the wilderness of ideas. And to our fellow adventurers, a special thank you for helping to support this channel out on Patreon.